hours to sleep in. Huh? Yeah, like the video showing how to know score or time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the campus of Goshen College at the Gunn Gymnasium for tonight's basketball contest between visiting Taylor University Trojans and your Goshen College Maple Leafs. As participants in the NAI's Champions of Character Initiative, we ask each of you to help create a positive, competitive environment by showing respect for one another. On behalf of the Crossroads League and Goshen College, please enjoy tonight's game. At this time, we invite you to stand as we honor the United States of America and the flag of America the Beautiful. And now, let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First, for the Trojans of Taylor University. A senior from Columbia State, Indiana, number 14, Aubrey White. A senior from Columbia State, number 22, Lacey Garrett. A senior from Highland, Colorado, number 32, Kenneth Lester. A junior from Angola, Indiana, number 40, Abby Bolt. And now, your Goshen College Maple Leafs. A senior from Sylvania, Ohio, number 10, Haley Archibald. A sophomore from Kettering, Ohio, number 22, Mariah Rose. A junior from Chandler, Ohio, number 25, Allison Briggy. A freshman out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 34, Denise Jackson. And a freshman out of Brighton, number 40, Grayson Tuckerham. Jump ball, possession there, Taylor. Into the game for the Maple Leafs, number 20, Caitlin O'Neill, and number 33, Kara Murphy.
happening. That's on both sides.
Thanks, Chris.
Jump ball possession arrows for Goshen. In the game with Macy's number 5, Logan Kyer. And for Taylor, number 3, Meredith Decker, and number 10, James.
And believe Meredith Deckard, number 3 and number 10 for Taylor. O'Neal having the ball, giving it Murph down low, tries to drive in, and she will get the points. 11-18, 2:46 on the clock. Second 2-point play for Murph in the past minute. On the other side of the court, it's Aubrey Wright. She's on top of the key before giving it to Bradbury, finding the open lane, trying off the glass before she gets fouled. First foul of today's matchup will go against the Maple Leafs. First foul on Allison Prigge, team's first. Foul comes at 2:32 in the first quarter. Bradbury looking for 2. She will make her first. And look for her second. She will make both. As Bradbury on the season shooting 80% from the line. Haley Archibald bringing the ball down for the Maple Leafs. Screen from Murph before giving it over to O'Neal, who moves transitions top of the key. Back to Kyer in the paint. A little bit of a long ball, trying to get it over to Archibald, but goes over her head into the bench of Taylor. It'll go with Taylor ball inbounding in front of their own bench. Bringing it down will be Aubrey Wright. She'll move top of the key before giving it over to Deckard. Back on top with Wright. Deckard down low, looking for a 10-foot jumper, and it'll rattle in. 1:55 in the first quarter, 22-11. Taylor on top of the Maple Leafs. Whistle as a foul on Kendall Bradbury, and that's her first, team's first. Foul comes in 1:49 in the first quarter. It will be Maple Leaf ball underneath their own basket. O'Neal giving it to Murph, who gives it over to Cockrum. Cockrum back to O'Neal before giving back to Cockrum on top of the key. Transition around to Kyer. And there's O'Neal with her 3 play, and she will sink that one in the bucket. O'Neal's first 3 of the day. And the score, 22-14, Taylor. As Bradbury looking for her second 3-pointer of the day, and she will nail that. (25-14) and a whistle as Maple Leafs travel with the possession. Be handing it back over to Taylor. Sydney Stein looking to check in after the dead ball. On top of the key will be Aubrey Wright, giving it to Bradbury underneath before kicking it inside to Deckard, who thought she had a shot at the basket. Instead, she bounced it off of Maple Leaf. Sydney Stein coming in for Logan Kyer. Inbounding underneath their own basket will be Taylor. Wright on top of the key, giving it over to James. Gives it to Bradbury underneath before losing it to O'Neal. Almost losing that one. Stein trying to dig for the layup, and she will push through and make the bucket. 16 points as it goes 25-16, under 30 seconds to go as Sydney Stein makes that layup. Almost losing again was James. Maple Leafs trying for the rebound, popping around like popcorn now off the hands of, looks like, Murph. And it will stay with Taylor. Play resuming action as Deckard inbounds to right. Stratman now in the game, excuse me, she'll take the layup instead. 27-16, Taylor in the first quarter, under 10 to go as shot clock's unplugged. It's Sydney Stein with the ball, driving into the paint, twist around, trying for the floater. Instead, she gets ripped away from Aubrey Wright, who takes it downtown before passing it off to James for the layup, and they will squeeze that one in. 29-16, end of the first quarter. We'll take a quick break, come back for second quarter action here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. I'm Laura Hoover, live at the Ruth Gunn Gymnasium for another edition of Maple Leaf Basketball. Taylor Trojans on top of your Goshen College and Maple Leafs 29-16. We are live in the second quarter as, well, deliberation between the three refs here on court. I'm really kind of unsure why. I suppose it looks like it's supposed to be a Maple Leaf ball. Or not. I think that's a deliberation about who ended with the ball and what's going on now and who has the possession arrow and everything in between. As they figure that out, possession arrow should be with Taylor, as the last jump ball was to the Maple Leafs. If you remember correctly, there were two jump balls in this in the first quarter. One, Chapman was trying to go up, and there's a little bit of struggle. And then the second one was Murph getting in and trying to strip the ball away. In the meantime, let's go through some quick stats. As Maple Leafs shooting 53% from the field. Taylor shooting 63%. From beyond the arc, Maple Leafs shooting 2 for 4, that's 50%. And 42 for Taylor, 3 of 7. From the line, there's only been 2 shots thrown, and that was for Bradbury, so 100% from the line for Taylor. Rebounds, Maple Leafs losing the rebound battle, 8 rebounds to 5 rebounds. 4 assists, only 1 steal, and that was from O'Neal. Turnovers 5, no blocks, and only 1 team foul apiece. The current scoring leader is 16 points for Bradbury for both teams. And if you're watching the live stream, it's quite confusion on the court as both teams have returned to their benches. And the refs have finally finished deliberating about who has possession of the ball after how many different times the possession actually changed throughout the first quarter. And let me tell you, it's only the second quarter. So, with that being said, again, the score, 29-16, Taylor on top of the Maple Leafs. And as soon as I say that, apparently the refs need to explain to both coaches. Thank you to our assistant sports information director, Tony Miller, as they are going with purple, which is going with Taylor. I know it's confusing. Both teams wear purple tonight. However, in the official scorebook, Taylor has possession and has the possession arrow. Therefore, it will stay with Taylor. Resuming back with the play of game, it will be going to Abby Books on top of the key. Almost tipped away by O'Neill, although she runs into Bradbury. That will be a foul for Goshen. That will be her first, Caitlin's first, team's first, as Becca Books checks in for Haley Stratman on Taylor's side. Inbound underneath their own side. It will be Abby Books for the shot, and she will sink the 3-point to start off the second quarter. That will leave 32-16 Taylor, with Becca Books' shot making the first point of the second quarter. On top of the key will be Mariah Rowe. Screen from Murph, but she doesn't take it. Instead, she'll be going the other way. Another screen from Murph, finally on the right side. Sydney Stein, however, will get the ball, try for the 3-point possession play, and that will be rattling around, but knocks it in. 32-19, as Stein's ball will be going the other way. On top of the key will be Becca Brooks. Back to Abby. Deckard on top. Garrett. Up for the shot is Bradbury, and that will be just off the back of the iron. It will be Chapman with the rebound. She'll be going the other way for the Maple Leafs. Into Stein, the open ball, and she will make two in a row. Holding up the Maple Leafs, now down by 2. It goes 32-22. 8:28 on the clock for second quarter. On top of the key is Garrett. She'll move it over to Deckard. Deckard moving slow across timeline. Under 10 for the shot clock. It goes to Becca Book. She'll drive inside, looking for the layup, and will actually draw the foul and go to the line for 2. Foul was on number 40, Grayson Cochran. Cockerham will have her first, team's second of this quarter. And Becca Brooks will go to the line for 2 attempts. She will miss her first. As a myriad of substitutions come in, it will be Aubrey Wright coming in for Deckard, as Haley Arjabek, Allison Prigge, and Denise Chapman all coming in. Again, the lineup: Chapman, Rowe, Cockram, Prigge, and Archibek for the Maple Leafs. Second shot for Becca will be made, as Becca shoots 85% this season. It'll be Mariah Rowe handling the ball. She'll be on top of the court, moving to the far wing before she makes it around the world to the near side. Giving it over to Cockram underneath the basket, trying to drive it in before she gets her own rebound and loses it to Becca Brooks. She'll give it over to Bradbury. Taking down court instead will be Lexi Garrett. Working her way around, 20 seconds on the shot clock, guarded up by the 1-2-2 zone, more or less, for the Maple Leafs. Transition into a man-to-man. Open lane with a little too much power. Behind it was Bradbury. No shot for Taylor, as Maple Leafs will take the rebound and go from there. Losing it off the hands of Prigge, and it will be right back where it started with the Taylor Trojans. Get a reset. 33-22 with a 30-second timeout from head coach Stephanie Miller. Timeout will be taken at 7:17 in the second quarter. Again, a little bit of recap. Maple Leafs trailing Taylor Trojans 33-22. Haley Arjabek, Mariah Rowe, Allison Briggy, Tanice Chapman, and Grayson Cochran will be on the court. On the flip side, it'll be Wright, Garrett, Bradbury, and both Book twins for the Taylor Trojans. From beyond the arc, 66% for the Maple Leafs with Sydney Stein shooting 2 threes back-to-back within the same minute, just around the 8:28 mark in the second quarter. Moving down court again, Taylor Trojans have possession. It will be Becca Books giving over to sister Abby. Priggy Yonner up for the layup, and there's Chapman helping her out, and looks like Chapman will draw the foul. Was that on Chapman or was that on Allison Priggy? It was on Allison Priggy instead. Priggy's second, team's third. At the line will be Abby Books. Going up for two. She also misses her first as Sydney Stein checks in for Priggy. Abby Books shooting 90% from the line this season. Looking to go up for her second shot. And she will make her second, 1 for 1 for tonight. Press from Taylor for Cockrum. Stein underneath the basket looking to hold up and gets the layup. Last 3 points for the Maple Leafs have come from Stein. Oh, this one with only 2 points to her name. Score still down by 4, 34-24 Taylor, 6:40 on the clock in the second quarter. Abby giving it over to Bradbury in the lane, stopping it up, back out to Becca, who gives it to Garrett on the baseline, looking for something open, drives to the basket, rebound by Archibald, getting trapped up almost in the backcourt before she gives it over to Stein, back to Cockrum on top of the key. Rowe setting things up for the Maple Leaf. Moving to the near wing, and gets pushed out of bounds was Archibald. Foul was on number 22, Lacey Garrett, her first, team's first. Inbound in front of Taylor bench will be Archibald. Gives it over to Rowe, who'll move far wing before back to Archibald on the near wing. Inside to Chapman. She'll drive paint. Up for the shot, and she will nail the layup. 2 points to Chapman, as that will help the Maple Leafs out as they're still down 34-26. 5:50 on the clock in the second quarter. On top of the key for Taylor will be Bradbury, giving over to Garrett on the near wing. On the far wing to Wright, back to Garrett. Looking for someone open. It's Wright. She'll need on top of the key with 5 on the shot clock. Drive for the basket. Look for the open shot. Blocked up by... Beautiful block by Mariah Rowe, and that will force a shot clock violation and a turnover for Taylor. Full court press from Taylor Trojans as Maple Leafs will handle the ball. Rowe will inbound to Archibald. She'll take it down across timeline to Stein on the far wing of their side of the court. Chapman inbounds before getting it stolen away from a bounce pass will be Garrett. Wright having it now up for the layup, giving it over to Bradbury to put it back up. Bradbury will nail the points. 36-26 will be the score with 5:02 on the clock. On the other side of the court, it's Mariah Rowe with a screen from Chapman. She'll try to find the paint. Up for the layup, just a little too hard off the glass, knocked out of bounds from Chapman, and it'll be going Taylor. Checking in for the Maple Leafs will be Caitlin O'Neill for Mariah Rowe. And Taylor will bring it right down the court with Lacey Garrett. Garrett walks on the far side of the wing, giving it over to Becca, who gives it to Abby Books on top of the key. Back over to Garrett, who gives it to Wright. Almost stolen away by Cockrum. Back over to Abby to save her. Abby will drive baseline, looking for someone open. Kicked out of bounds by Sydney Stein, and it'll stay with Taylor to inbound underneath their own basket. Shot clock looking to be reset at 15 seconds instead of 20. From the kickball violation, and again, it'll be inbound underneath Taylor's own basket. Looking for someone open, Garrett will be found. Bradbury on top of the key. Driving it inbounds will be Becca. And she's up for the shot. 38-26, and O'Neal for the three-point shot. Rebound by Becca Books, and it'll be going the other way with Lacey Garrett handling the ball over to Wright for the three shot on the back of the iron, and Denise Chapman with the rebound, who gives it back over to Cockrum, taking it down court past timeline. Inside the paint will be Chapman. She'll be looking for the layup. Beautifully held off the glass. Consecutive points for Chapman, as another shot attempt from Abby will land another point for Taylor. 41-28, 3:32 on the clock in the first half. Stein trying to drive baseline in for the layup. Instead, it's rebounded by Taylor. Garrett, Wright, Bradbury with the three-point play, and she'll nail the shot. 44-28. 3 minutes in the first half, ready to go. On top of the key, blocked up by Stein and Chapman for Rowe. Instead, she dishes it over to Cockrum. Double team, back to Chapman, looking to drive inside the paint. Kicking it outside to an open O'Neal. Off the glass and picked up by Taylor for the rebound. It's going the other way. O'Neal will block her up instead, trying to steal that one away. He'll go on top of the key with an open Garrett. And 2 consecutive three-point plays. Timeout from head coach Stephanie Miller, her third. And looks like to be her last 30-second timeout. From here on out, she will be having minute timeouts. With that being said, Maple Leafs are down 47-28 in the second quarter. Here at Live at the Ruth Gunn Gymnasium, I'm Laura Hoover, 2:34. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the new globeradio.org. It's bright, it's new, it's shiny, it has tabs for Globe News, Globe Music, aka Globe Radio, and Globe Sports. For all of news, packages for Maple Leaf Athletics that you can find another home for with video content. I know, it's cool. Your news show and weekly sports show updated on there as well. In the meantime, we resume play as Mariah Rowe does lose the ball off of the foot of Lacey Garrett. It'll stay with the Maple Leafs inbounding in front of the scores table. Grayson Cockrum giving it over to Rowe, who moves top of the key. Prigge checks in for the Maple Leafs, and O'Neal. Cockrum, Rowe. Underneath is Murph. She's trying to find the open basket. Just kind of chucks it up there off the front of the iron. Rebounded by Taylor. Goes the other way with under 2 minutes in the first half. Wright having the ball. Underneath the basket, barely tipped it into her hands was Garrett awaiting it. Just knocked out of bounds from a Maple Leaf player. I believe that was O'Neal who had a hand on it, and it'll stay with Taylor. Inbounding is Wright. Giving it over to Becca, but stolen away by Murph. Over to O'Neal, looking for the open Murph underneath on the baseline, dishing it back outside to Cockrum on the top of the key, driving baseline, and she will knock that one to the layup. Score now 47-30. 1:30 on the clock. On top of the key is Abby for the layup. She will also nail that one. 49-30. 1 minute for the Maple Leafs to try and make a quick comeback before halftime. Other side of the court, up for the layup. Into the closed up benches. Unable to get there in time. O'Neal also running into them as well. It looks to be Jamie Netzley, who recently just checked in, to be on the line for 2. That will be O'Neal second, team's 4th. Netzley will find her first basket as Logan Kyer will come in for Cockrum. Netzley, this season, shooting 33% from the line. Mariah Rowe checks back in for O'Neal. And Netzley looking for her second shot. And finds that one in the hole as well, bringing the score 51-30, 1:06 on the clock in the first half. Dish outside, Mariah Rowe taking it for the 3 ball, and she will nail that one immediately as she enters the game. Rowe guarding up on top as Bradbury takes the shot before she actually dishes it over to Becca. Another long ball for the junior. Allison Briggy on the other side of the court, on top of the key, looking for someone open, finds the open Kyer, driving baseline instead, trying to go for the ball, stolen away by Bradbury. She'll give it over to Becca, who tosses it over to Wright, bringing it down court. Wright will wait, shot clock is unplugged, and 10 seconds remain in the first half. Looking for someone open before scrambling. Mariah Rowe getting a handle on it. There goes to Bradbury up for the buzzer beater, and that will end out the first half. 54-33 at the end of the first half. We'll be back at halftime for some analysis and quick stats. Keep it locked here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. I'm Laura Hoover here with you at a halftime in the Ruth Gunham Gymnasium. And Maple Leafs trail the Taylor Trojans 54-33 in a heated Crosses League matchup. So far, I was running through some quick stats here with total points. Kendall Bradbury already reaching her average at 21 points so far. Behind her at 9 points would be Becca Books, 8 for Abby Books, and then 8 as well for Aubrey Wright. So point accumulation from the Taylor Trojans coming from quite a few. However, Maple Leafs stretching it out with 10 points to Sydney Stein as she went on a streak there. Back in the second quarter, about the 5:50 mark. No, about the 6:40 mark, she went on 2 threes within about a minute, back to back, and then she also knocked down a 2-pointer as well. So she already had 9 points right there. So Maple is not doing too bad on runs. However, stopping Bradbury is looking pretty rough for the Maple Leafs. Overall statistics for Goshen: 50% from the field, 56% from beyond the arc, and haven't actually gone to the line as of yet in the first half. On the flip side, for Taylor Trojans, 56% from the floor, 50% from beyond the arc, and 75% from the line. Maple Leafs, last time they were able to even get close was actually in early second quarter. They were down by 10, as the largest lead right now for Taylor was by 21, and that started out for the second quarter before Maple Leafs came back on a short run to move it down to 10, and then now it is 54-33. Goshen College led only by 3, and that was in the first quarter. Early in the first quarter, and they went on basically a quick run streak. First points awarded to the game were to the Maple Leafs, and then Taylor quickly picked up by mid-first quarter. About the 3:42 mark is when, but I take that back. It's more like the 7:08 mark was when Taylor really picked up their game. In any case, that was some quick stats for you right here. We're going to take another quick break and come back for some halftime analysis and looking forward to what the Maple Leafs need to do from here on out. Keep it locked here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. here on 91.1 The Globe and the Go Leafs live stream. I'm Laura Hoover here with you live at the Ruth Gunn Gymnasium for the final home game of the Goshen College Maple Leafs as they take on 8th-ranked Taylor Trojans. At halftime, Maple Leafs are currently down 54-33, although they still have, Maple Leafs that is, still have one more game, doubleheader at Spring Arbor this Saturday, the 16th, starting at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. is tipped for the women's game, and the men's game to follow. If you weren't able to make the men's game last night, I'm heartfully sorry for you, as it was a fantastic, fantastic match. I, too, was not there. I was at the C. Henry Smith Peace Oratorical Contest, which is also a very good thing to go to. So, that being said, men's game, though, I have no idea what happened in the past few weeks or what, they've been doing at practice, but men beat Taylor Trojans 73-68 here at the Ruth Gunn Gymnasium. So if you weren't able to make that game, I'm sorry, but it was a fantastic game from my understanding. DeMarcus Stuckey, Alassane Berry leading the team for a combined 41 points by the end of the game. And of course, Tanner Camp, the Globe's very own, with a rebounding leader, with 8 rebounds to his name. So as they look to the future, their home game extravaganza for the 2018-2019 season has come to a close. But like I said, a doubleheader against Spring Arbor this Saturday will wrap up the regular season play for both men and women's basketball. And then we move outside, to the baseball and softball diamonds and continue here on the court with men's volleyball. So all those you'll be looking forward to seeing in the upcoming weeks. Again, home field play for baseball and softball will be streamed live on goleafs.net. And Tanner Camp, myself, and Zach Begley will try and bring you all the home field play for both of those teams. So look forward to those seasons starting up, hopefully, if it's not raining like it was last year, or snowing, or freezing cold, or generally just Indiana weather. So with that hope small glimmering in the near future, we'll be returning back to women's basketball as going into the third quarter. Maple Leafs are still underneath Taylor Trojans 54-33. Both teams back as Maple Leafs now moving from right to left and shooting in front of their own bench, and Taylor from left to right shooting in front of their own bench. So both teams back out on the court. It will be a shot from Archibek to start things off, rebounded by Taylor. Although a shove from Grayson Cockrum will start things off with a foul. 9:47. And Cockrum has 2 personal, 1 team foul. Looking on top of the court, it will be Bradbury giving it to Abby Brooks, who giving it over to Garrett. Up for the shot. Rebounded with a fresh shot clock. Garrett. Right inside, back to Bradbury. Up for the shot is Abby Book, and rebounded by the Maple Leafs. Mariah Rowe. Outside of the court. She almost loses it out of bounds before giving it to Cockrum on top of the key. To Archibek. Prigge on the near corner. She'll transition near wing with Archibek on top. She'll drive inside. Back outside to Cockrum, up for the layup. She will draw the foul instead. Take that back. She will be inbounding underneath her own basket. Thought that was going up foul, but it apparently was not. Archibek to inbound, giving it over to Cockrum. She almost loses in the backcourt. shot clock violation called early by the Red. No, it was a offensive foul for the Maple Leafs. Foul was on Denise Chapman, her first, team second. And we're moving to the other side of the court with Abby Wright. Wright giving over to Garrett on top of the key, back to Becca. Garrett, Wright on the far wing. Inside the paint is Bradbury. She'll pass it off to Wright on top. Trying to dig underneath for Bradbury's layup, and rebounded by Allison Prigge of the Maple Leafs. It's going over the other way. Down court is Cochran with the open shot. Just saw a little hard off the glass, and rebound by Taylor. Allison Prigge picking up her third personal, team's third. And it will be going to Taylor with the possession. Garrett moving down court. Top of the key, giving it over to Abby Brooks. Abby gives it over to Garrett. Back to Wright on top. Now Garrett. Abby for the three. And rebound by the Maple Leafs, who will knock out of bounds instead. It'll stay with Taylor. Sydney Stein check in for Allison Prigge. Inbound underneath their own basket. Goes to Becca, looking for the shot fake. And wrestling around with Sydney before dishing it underneath the basket, and a rebound by Cochran. Cochran down court. Back to Archibek. Chapman underneath. Power dribbles up for the spin move. And going up for two, as she will be going down to the line. Foul was on number 14, Aubrey Wright. Her first, team's first. Chapman this season will be looking at the line 55%. Up, and she will bring the first points of the third quarter at 7:36. She made her first shot, going for a second. And she made both of them. 35 now. 54-35, Maple Leafs down underneath the Taylor Trojans. First points go to Chapman for Maple Leafs in the third quarter. On top of the key is Wright. She passed it off to Bradbury for the three-point. And she'll knock that one down for her first points of the third quarter. 57-35, 7 minutes in the third left to go. On top of the key, Mariah Rowe. Archibek on the near wing, over to Stein on the near baseline. Spinning around, looking for someone open, almost loses it to off Mariah Rowe's foot, but she will actually go for the layup instead after she gets her wrangle on it. Points for Mariah Rowe. (57-37), 6:50 on the clock, and Taylor has the ball. It's Wright on the near wing. Becca with the three off the back of the rim, and it'll be rebounded by the Maple Leafs. Cochran going the other way on top of the key. She'll pass it off to Rowe. Back up to Chapman. A few power dribbles up for the shot. Shot will not count, although she'll go to the line. I take that back. Shot will count. Chapman will be going for the and one. 57-39. Chapman is 2 for 2 of tonight. And she will make the and one, making a 3-point possession play, making it 57-40. Maple Leafs still underneath Taylor. On top of the key is Aubrey Wright. She getting over to Garrett, to Becca. Back to Abby, and back to Becca, and Becca will have another 3-point play for Taylor, making the score 60-40, 5:50 in the third quarter. On top of the key, Mariah Rowe. She dishes it over to Archer back on the near wing. Chapman underneath and stolen away. Will actually be a foul on number 40. Abby Brooks, her first, team second. Coming in will be Lauren James for Lacey Garrett. And Caitlin O'Neill coming in for Mariah Rowe on the Maple Leaf side. O'Neill inbounding it. Rowe Archibek having it, giving it back to O'Neill on the near wing. Back to Archibek. She'll drive inside before pissing it out to Cochran. Looking for someone open inside to go for a 10-foot floater, and she will knock it down. 60-42 as Taylor have the ball. Bradbury on the baseline, dishing it outside to Abby for a long ball before a rebound from Archibek, taking for the fast break. Shortstop up around the rim, it rattles in. That will be Archibek's second time with a shot. Bradbury having the ball. Maple Leafs trying to make a comeback here. 60-44 is the score. 4:56. Although Sydney Stein picks up her first foul, team's fourth, and it will be a 1-1 from here on out at the end of the quarter. Logan Kyer checking in for Stein. Remember, in women's basketball, 5 team fouls per quarter, 4 double-double, or 1-1, and then shooting double rest of the way at 5 team fouls. 60-44, again, your score, 4:45 on the third quarter clock. It will be going to Taylor as bounce out of bounds from O'Neill. Moving down court is Aubrey Wright. Wright. Now giving it over to James. Back to Wright. She'll travel the world, make top of the key before giving it to Becca. Becca trying to find someone open, does not. And she'll pass it out of bounds for a Maple Leaf ball. Kiara Murph coming in for Tanisha Chapman on the Maple Leaf side. 4:20 on the clock in the third quarter. Maple Leafs trail Taylor 63-44 if you're just tuning in to 91.1 The Globe. Maple Leafs have the ball. It's Logan Kyer on the near wing. Back on top with Cockrum. Wayne O'Neill on the far wing. She drives inside before giving it to Kyer, who drives baseline with the hook shot and rebounded by Taylor instead. James giving it over to Bradbury underneath the basket, knocked out of bounds. Will it stay with Taylor? It will actually be a foul on Kiera Murph. So yes, it will stay with Taylor. It's 5 team fouls and Murph's first personal foul. Taylor will be shooting 2 for the remainder of the third quarter with 3:50 to go. And first shot made for Bradbury. Bradbury looking for his second shot. And she will make both. 62-44, 3:44 on the clock. Archibek, O'Neill, underneath the basket is Murph, off the glass, and she'll make it. (62-46), 3:25 on the clock. Taylor have the ball. It's Becca Book with giving it over to James for the 3, and rebounded by Kyer. Press from Taylor as they're moving it down court. Cockrum having the ball, losing off Taylor's foot, and scramble for on the ground. It's Kyer trying to come up with it. And full timeout coming from head coach Stephanie Miller. We will take a timeout as well. Keep it locked here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. 91 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. I'm Laura Hoover, live at the Ruth Gunn Gymnasium at the college, Goshen College. That's right. We are live at Goshen College. And 62-46 is the current score. Maple Leafs trailing the Taylor Trojans. Maple Leafs have the ball, as it'll be Haley Archibek handling possession with 18 on the shot clock. She'll move top of key. Back to Cockrum, who will try drive inside before kicking it outside to Kyer. On the outside, she'll drive baseline. Back outside to O'Neal on the far corner, and she will drill in a three-point play. (62-49). 2:40 on the clock in the third quarter. Maple Leaf still trail. Shot from Abby Book, and Maple Leaf pulled on the rebound. Kyer looking for Archibek, who finds Cockrum. Cockrum on the near corner, driving into the paint. Back outside to Archibek. O'Neal up for the shot, off the front of the iron. Rebound by the Maple Leafs, scrambling to not get it out of bounds, and Kyer trying to save it. Boxed in on the corner. And it looks like hit off of Taylor's foot, out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Maple Leafs inbound in front of their own bench. Archibek to inbound. Throw in to O'Neal. On the far corner was Kyer. On top was O'Neal. Back to Murph inside. She'll take a few power dribbles, look to pull something up. Instead, draw the foul, and it'll be going to Taylor. On the other side of the court, it's Taylor's possession, and it will be Becca handling the ball, giving it over to Abby on top of the key. She'll travel, trying to go inside to Bradbury, who's guarded up by Murph. Back outside to Garrett on top with Becca. Double team by Kyer and Cockrum. Looking for something else. Open shot from Becca. Although pulled down by Archibek, and she'll take a rebound. She'll dribble it off her foot, and it'll stay with Taylor. Again, 62-49 your score, 1:28 on the clock. Taylor has the ball. Inbounding in front of their own basket. More like their own bench. Becca Books to inbound. Throwing it into Wright. Right in the near wing. Look for someone open, finds Becca. On top of the key with Abby. Decker on the far wing is Wright. Underneath is Bradbury with a reverse layup, and she will get the points. 64 now, 49, with 1 minute on the clock. It'll be Archibek. O'Neal on top of the key, screen from Cockrum. On the other side is Kyer, open for the three. And off the front of the iron, it goes Decker with a rebound from Taylor. Wright going up for the fast break layup. Archibek to draw the foul. That will be Archibek's first, and again in double bonus for Taylor for the remainder of this third quarter. Going to the line for two, Aubrey Wright, the senior guard from Columbus City, Indiana. Allison Prigge coming in for Logan Kyer. Again, Garrett shooting Wright shooting 80% this season. Looking for her next shot. She will make both, bringing the score 66-49 in the third quarter. Under a minute to go. About 15 seconds separate shot and game. And it'll be Cockrum on top, again giving it over to Archibek, who will trade places with her. Prigge going inside, looking for someone open. She's in the paint, so back outside to Cockrum. Shot clock under 5, and Archibek taking the 3 ball just because she has to. Put back from Murph, and under 13 to go, shot clock unplugged. Losing it out of bounds with 6 seconds to go. It will be a Maple Leaf ball. Again, losing it out of bounds. Off of Taylor. Forced out of bounds from Archbeck. Keeping things at 5 seconds. Cockrum having the ball. Screen from Murph. She'll take the three. Off the front of the rim. Rebound from Taylor, and unable to get any sort of movement going. We'll be going into the fourth quarter here on 91.1 The Globe. Keep it locked on your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. #91 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics and the Go Leafs /Team. Laura Hoover here with the fourth quarter of Maple Leaf action. And Allison Prigge going to the line for two right there as we jump literally right into the game. 65-52 as Prigge only makes one of two. That's Kendall Bradbury with the foul. Her second, team's first. Taylor with the possession and bouncing around off the rim, goes behind the backboard, and it goes to the Maple Leafs. So, quick start with Maple Leafs having 1 point in the fourth quarter already. Haley Archibek having the ball, giving it over to Murph. Cockrum in the near wing. On top is O'Neal, back to Archibek on the far. Prigge driving inside, up for about 10-foot jump shot before it gets rebounded by Becca Brooks. Moving down is Aubrey Wright, giving it over to Bradbury. Up for the shot, and the layup will be made. 68-52. 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter as Maple Leafs try to put that one up from Cockrum. It will bounce out of bounds, and Maple Leafs who will take it underneath their own basket. Murph coming out as Denise Chapman coming back in. Again, Archibek, O'Neal, Prigge, Chapman, and Cockrum on the court for your Goshen College Maple Leafs. And Chapman trying to do a reverse layup as well. However, that is rebounded by Becca Brooks. She'll take it down, giving it over to Aubrey right on the near wing. On top with Garrett, and there's Bradbury on the baseline. She'll try to drive underneath before being pushed out of bounds. And it looks like Denise Chapman will get another personal foul. It will be on Chapman, her second, team's first in the fourth quarter. On top of the key will be Becca Books. Over to Garrett on top. She'll drive inside before walking back on top of the arc. On the near wing, giving it over to Wright. Cross court to Garrett, back with Becca Books on top of the key. There's Bradbury on the baseline trying to drive inside. Almost gets it stolen away before driving it outside to Wright. There have 5 seconds on the shot clock. Bradbury with a three. And landing just out of bounds, although it hits the rim, and timeout from the Taylor side. It will be a full timeout, so we're going to take a quick timeout as well. Keep it locked here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. I'm Laura Hoover here with you on 91.1 The Globe. We are back in action, as on top of the key right now is Lacey Garrett for Taylor Trojans. And on the other side of the court, looking for the Maple Leafs, Garrett right on top, driving it inside the open lane, although stops out, giving over Bradbury in the backcourt. Bradbury right for the three, and she will knock it down with only 5 on the shot clock, making the score 71-52 in favor of Taylor, 7:31 in the fourth. Cockrum underneath the basket, giving it outside to Kyer. So that's Chapman grabbing the ball. She'll do a few power dribbles, move up and try with the nice layup. Well, that's a little too hard off the glass, and a foul from number 14, Aubrey Wright, will bring her second, team's second, and Denise Chapman to the line for 2. Looking for her first. Will knock off the back of the iron. Chapman this season, shooting 55%. She made both last time she was at the line. And she makes her second. Maple Leafs now down 71-53, 7:16 in the fourth quarter. Here's Garrett, back to Becca Books, over to Aubrey. Back on top with Wright. And there is Abby with the shot, wrestling for the jump ball, and it will be in favor of Taylor, I believe. So it'll stay with Taylor as Sydney Stein checking in for Logan Kyer. Inbound underneath their own basket. It will be Bradbury with the easy layup. 73-53 now. 6:47 on the clock. Allison Prigge on top, giving it over to Archbeck. Back to Prigge. Inside to Chapman. She's losing it to Bradbury before Becca picks it up. Becca will drive it down court, giving it over to Wright. On top with Garrett. Garrett passing it to Abby. Wright switching on top of the key. Trying to waste time at this point. Here's Bradbury. Kind of doing a small weave. Maple Leaf staying inside the arc from the floor. Bradbury, Book, Back top of the key with Wright. Shot from Bradbury for a long, and she will make that one. 6 minutes in the fourth. 76-53 Taylor. Shot from Mariah Rowe, and shoving call on court. Offensive foul on number 35. That's Sydney Stein. That's her second. Team second in the fourth quarter. On top will be Lacey Garrett. Maple Leaf still staying around the arc as Garrett will drive in. Back to Book. Bradbury with the open shot. And we'll have another three-point play. Second in a row within 10 seconds. 79-53, 5:30 on the clock. Mariah Rowe with another three-point attempt, and that will rattle out of the rim. And a rebound from Taylor will send it the other way. Abby giving it to Becca. Stein trying to grab for it on the scramble, although it's picked up by Taylor. Bradbury left wide open again. This one just off the rim. Mariah Rowe for Goshen picking it up in the rebound. Instead, Archie Beck will actually travel. Caitlin O'Neill coming on in for Haley Archibek. As it'll stay with Taylor. Inbound in front of the stands, and Garrett on top, giving it to Wright. Back to Becca. Wright, open. Becca in the near corner with the shot attempt. Rebounded by Taylor. Looks like there'll be a foul. And Sydney Stein with the foul, her third, team's third, with shoving Taylor out of bounds. On top of the key is Garrett. She will find Wright with a fresh shot clock. On baseline, back to Becca. On top of the key with Wright. Driving in, Becca on the near wing. Baseline with Abby. Bradbury on top of the key, teamed up by Chapman and Prigge. Up for the layup, and another foul on Sydney Stein. Her fourth, team's fourth. At the line, shooting two, is Abby Book. She will make her first. It will be a timeout. And I believe it'll be a full timeout from the Maple Leafs. We're going to keep it here for this one. As in between shots from Abby Book. She made her first, looking for her second after timeout is over. So far, Abby shoots 90% from the line this season. And I'll go ahead and recap in some quick stats. From the floor, 45% are the Maple Leafs. Taylor at 46%. From beyond the arc, 33%. 6 of 18 for Goshen. 38% for Taylor. At the line, 71% for the Maple Leafs. 91 for Taylor, as they are 11 for 12. In the rebound game, Taylor leads Goshen with 30 rebounds. Goshen only having 23. 4 offensive boards and 19 defensive boards, whereas Taylor has 10 offensive, 20 defensive. Scoring from the bench, 24 points for the Maple Leafs. Points from the paint, 26, tied both. And second chance points, only 2 for the Maple Leafs, 12 for Taylor. And points over turnovers, 2 for Goshen, 17 for Taylor. The scoring leaders right now, Bradbury with 38 points to her name. Chapman with 12 with rebounds. Bradbury 8. Cochran with 7. And the assist leader, Wright with 8. Archbeck with 3. And Book tries to get her second shot. She does. So the score goes 81-53. 4:22 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Mariah Rowe, Chapman underneath with the shot. Rattles around. Chapman will get her own rebound, put it back up, and rebound then again by Bradbury. Goes to Taylor's way. Right, Bradbury trying for the open three. Rattles around, does not fall. And picked up by Taylor with a fresh shot clock. Bradbury again, and she will then knock it down. Only it's a 2-point play, though. Substitution timeout taken by Taylor. It will be Murph coming in for Chapman. Full substitution coming in for the Taylor Trojans as they are leading 83-53 with 3:51 on the clock. Rowe, Murph up for the shot, and she will knock it down. (83-55), 3:30 on the clock. On top of the key will be Kirtley. Fisher. Back to Huffman. And Deckard. Huffman. Underneath with Stratman for the three. Rebounded by Naito. And a foul called on Kiera Murph, her second. Team's fifth. So a little bit of recap. Who's on the court for Taylor is a full 5 substitution. Number 3, Meredith Deckard. Number 10, Lauren James. Number 12, Haley Stratman. Number 24, Sydney Huffman. And number 33, Kaita Nieto. Mariah Rowe coming out for the Maple Leafs as Archibald comes back in. At the line right now is Naito. She makes one of her 2 shots. 84-55. Maple Leafs trail Taylor. As on top of the key is Archibald. Stein with a 3, and she will finally get that one in her favor. .251, 84-58, Taylor. On top of the key is Deckard. James looking for Huffman. Finds her on top of the key. Huffman bringing it in, handing over to James. Huffman almost losing in the backcourt and teamed up by Cockrum. She drives baseline, gives it over to Deckard for the 3, and that will be nothing but net from Deckard. Emily Branberry will come in for the first time for Sydney Stein. No, for actually Grayson Cockrum. Another mass substitution coming in for Taylor. We'll get you those numbers as they come in. O'Neal on top, Stein. Back to O'Neal. Underneath is Murph. Few power dribbles on the baseline, kicking outside to Stein for the power play. Up to Bradbury, and the shot is rebounded by Taylor. That flips over to the other side of the court, slowing things down. 2 minutes left to go with Huffman on top. Huffman trying to give it over to Kirtley, who just checked in. Back on the outside with the shot, rebounded by Murph, and it has a Maple Leaf ball. Archibald, the Stein on the outside. O'Neal, Archibald on top. 1:30 on the clock, 17 on the shot clock, and O'Neal gives it over to Stein. Cross court to Archibald with the open 3 ball, and she will get it. 1:20 on the clock, and Maple Leafs still trail 87-61. On the other side of the court, it's Huffman over to Fisher. Back to Naito for the shot, and that's off the back of the iron. Maple Leafs for the rebound. O'Neal now should be out for the three-point play and nailing it. Maple Leafs trying to make some sort of comeback with under a minute to go, 87-64. Huffman, top of the key. On the other side is Fisher. Netzley on top. Back on top with Huffman. Netzley. And then now to Naito. Back to Huffman for the shot. And shot clock violation will not be in effect as it will be rebounded by the Maple Leafs. Just in time. O'Neal on top for Stein. Stolen away by Taylor, and it goes Netzley. Up for the shot, and she will get it. Maple Leafs, shot clock unplugged, 5 seconds to go. Stein having the ball. Archibek. O'Neal with the buzzer beater and unable to get there. So that will end the game. And the last home game for the Maple Leafs take the loss, 89-64. We'll be back for post-game analysis right after this here on 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Here in 91.1 The Globe, your home for Maple Leaf Athletics. Goshen College takes the loss in their final home game of the 2018-2019 season. Their record will fall 1-16 in the Crossroads League and 8-21 overall. On the flip side, Taylor University will raise the record 15-2 in the Crossroads League and 24-4 overall. Again, Maple Leafs take the loss 89-64, and this will be the final home game for seniors of Haley Archibek, Caitlin O'Neal, who came back another year, and Sydney Stein. However, Stein will be still playing on the softball field. Will be seen in the next upcoming months. Maple Leafs still have one more game as they play a doubleheader against Spring Arbor. Tip-off at 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. They travel to Spring Arbor for the day. Maple Leafs end out this home game shooting 45% from the field, 39% from beyond the arc, 71 at the line, 28 rebounds, 11 assists, 1 steal, 14 turnovers, 2 blocks, and a grand total of 15 team fouls, with the highest team foul highest personal foul of Sydney Stein with 4. From the bench, they scored 32 points. In the paint, 28, and second chance points at 2, and points off of turnovers at 2. The overall scoring leader with 40 points, Kendall Bradbury of Taylor University. Sydney Stein with 13 for the Maple Leafs. Rebounding leader, Bradbury with 8, and Archibek with 7, and from the assist lane, Wright had 9, Archibek had 4. So with quick stats, the leading points for the Maple Leafs with 13, like I said, Sydney Stein with 12, Tanisha Chapman, 10, Kiara Murph, and then 9 from Caitlin O'Neal, 8 from Haley Archibek, and 5 from Mariah Rowe, 4 from Grayson Cockrum, and 3 from our very own Allison Prigge. On the flip side, again, like I said, 40 from Kendall Bradbury, 13 from Aubrey Wright. And beyond that, we had 12 from both Book twins apiece. And then a reasonable amount of 5 from Deckard and 2 from James and Stratman and Fisher. With that being said, we'd like to thank a few people. Tony Miller, our SID, Sports Information Director, for handing us notes throughout the game and stats as well. For our Athletic Director for bringing around a new season of basketball under his reign, and many more to come, hopefully. Maple Leafs, again, take the loss, 89-64. One last thank you for our basketball season to our people up at the live stream. Thank you very much for keeping us on air. We look forward to seeing you in baseball and softball season, maybe if you make it out there. If not, we'll keep you on the line for the rest of volleyball season. And, of course, to Cornelius Glass, our great board op back up at the station, keeping us live on air. Thank you for a great basketball season, and thank you to the Maple Leafs. It's been one great ride, that's for sure. So, myself, Laura Hoover, signing off for this right now, and we'll see you for one last game this weekend. Doubleheader, Maple Leafs taking on Spring Arbor University here on 91.1 The Globe. I suppose this is my last time signing off for basketball. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful weekend. Your home for Maple Leaf Athletics, it's 91.1 The Globe and the Go Leafs live stream.